there's such thing as a millionaire mindset. So out of the entire variables in which I've made money, there's been three constants in my mindset that have always allowed me to elevate, not beyond my competition, but beyond myself. My first principle is don't compete, create. And it's this idea that there is no competition, there is no competitive business. It's just me, myself, creating the best products, the best services, the best experiences that I can for either myself or my customers, and relying solely on that. Because we understand that, many times when we compare ourselves, comparison is the killer of joy, right? So if you're consistently comparing yourself to other people, you're gonna find yourself expending energy, unnecessary energy, instead of creating. You're going to be competing or comparing yourself. That's the first one. The second one is positivity. You need to be consistently positive in a world that is negative, right? So if you're in a world that is completely negative, that they're always shunning you, saying, hey, entrepreneurship isn't going to work, or, this is scammy, or you shouldn't attempt e-commerce because it's oversaturated, you have to consistently repeat yourself and be your number one cheerleader. Because if you don't support yourself, how can you expect others to support you? And every genius was first considered a madman. And that's kind of the equations, whether it was Leonardo da Vinci, whether it was Sir Isaac Newton, whether it was Einstein, or whether it was Jeff Bezos, right? When the internet was coming out. All of these madmen were then revered as geniuses. And the reason they were revered as geniuses was because, leading to my third point in the mindset, they were ahead of their time. This means that you need to develop a futurist mindset, a person that doesn't live in the present moment, but a person that lives in the future, so that when the future catches up, that person is already prepared. Because we live in a world that is changing so quickly. I remember getting started with Shopify back in 2016, and it was a completely different platform. It was a completely different game than it is today, right? We didn't have all these crazy plugins. We didn't have all these tools that could elevate us in a very automated fashion. It was a lot of hustle and grind work. I still remember getting on support calls with the code team and helping them tweak my landing page and things of this nature, whereby nowadays you have 900 different apps that help you create a landing page and things of this sort. So being a futurist and being able to be okay with the discomfort of being misunderstood, I think, is one of the keys of entrepreneurship. Whether it was crypto, when I started buying Bitcoin for a couple $100 in 2016, and people were laughing at me. They're like, why are you buying this garbage? It makes no sense. I'm like, you know what? There may be something to it. And the entire premise comes from the initial mindset, which is to have a student's mind, to learn from the greats that have come before you, because patterns repeat themselves. You can see these patterns play out in the world in a natural fashion. You have the four seasons, right? You have fall, winter, summer, spring. You have cosmic cycles. You have the planets revolving around the sun. But the same patterns exist in business, the same patterns exist in finance. And if you can identify those patterns, be okay with the discomfort of being a madman, and develop a student's mind to be able to perceive the future, not always accurate, but to live in the future instead of the present moment in a constantly evolving world, I think you have a millionaire mindset.